Okay, hello, welcome to my Game World Mechanics level. My name's Andrew Weir, and in this level I'm going to be outlining all the basic mechanics I've put into this little world. So I've already looked at the visuals of Unreal in a previous project, so this one's purely based on blueprints and slightly based on some other things like there's a basic theme of magic and spells. But that'll become kind of a little bit more obvious where it's actually kind of fitted in. But otherwise, it's purely based on the mechanics and not the visual style. So, starting with the mechanics, firstly in the background here we've got a matinee sequence, which makes the main menu a little bit more advanced, but also a little bit more visually pleasing. So obviously it's better than still images or anything like that. So from here I can also hit quit and close the window that I've got open if I want to hit play and start my game. So from here we've got a few basic things. Firstly, the player camera switched from the matinee into the player camera, and from there we've got two basic hands which obviously I've made with basic animations including running and shooting, which when I shoot there's a sound effect which is the default, apart from when I do shoot you can see the hand raises like it's being fired out of the hand, again like magic or spells, and also different to the default, so it's not strictly just the default, it is like a machine gun version of it. But I've got another custom projectile that we'll get to later, and it's important that also if I press E, which is the custom projectile, at the moment the player can't fire it, so the player hasn't unlocked it, but the animation is playing. And this first level, which is like an introduction level, the player is learning if I step on this button, or what is that, if I go over to it, what will happen, which is kind of obvious what will happen, but when I step on it, it weighs down and it goes to green, showing that it's on and it's going to open something, and it opened the door, it's going to do something to the world. So that's pretty obvious to anyone that's been playing games for the past 10 years, 20 years, but from this point we can then continue to learn and slowly introduce mechanics. So this is kind of like two puzzles, two levels here, because the first one is when I step on this button the door opens, so as a player I assume, oh yeah, I'm going to wander over to the door now, and it closed. But then also I discover that my player path has fallen, and they've destructed because they're destructible meshes, and now, well, I don't know what I would do, but luckily I've got a cube over here, which I've got a picking up ability, so I can press R, pick that up. We've got an animation here which shows like it's levitating, and my player jump at this point is a little bit off, but if we leave one of those there, the player can now jump the distance. So the player didn't want to go, I didn't want to walk across everything, I want to leave a block, and I can put this down on the button, weighing it down and opening the door, and then from this point I can jump over here. So from there I am now in a new room. Again, I've got another button here, and we don't quite know what it's going to do because there's no door apart from over there now we can see around the corner. But if I step on the button, and let's see what happens. That platform over there is raised. So I step off the button, I look at it, I see two more platforms, and eventually that platform's going to fall back down. So that's clearly not what I'm meant to do yet, because also I can't jump that far, and if I were to try I'd end up down this area. And there's a few things going on here. Firstly, a key which I can't reach, can't jump to, another door which I don't know how to open, apart from I can look over here, see this glowing thing above a button, and again I can't shoot my custom projectile yet. I can shoot this other one, so I'm going to shoot it at these, and we can see that it's like a localized destruction mesh, localized destructible mesh, and when I shoot it, gravity is applied to it, it starts falling down, and I can break them up as much as I want, but shooting them has exposed these two red blocks, and if I shoot one of them, it glows orange or amber, and I shoot the other one and it glows amber. But from this point it's not really doing anything, but what I can do is I can shoot both of them within a certain amount of time and they turn green, and now it's permanently lifting that platform. So that's the first platform raised. I don't quite know what this thing is yet, so when I walk over to it, I walk up and it launches me a little bit higher. So I know that gives me an extra boost on my jump whenever I see that. And then from here, I can see there's another one down there, but there's also a platform here. So I'm going to jump on that. I can see that my player weight is weighing it, and it hit that block, and now it's staying like that. So it's kind of like a weighted platform, which later on could include putting a cube on it, weighing it while the player goes to the other one, weighs up, or anything like that. But at this basic point, which is again just introducing the player to the mechanics, it just hits the switch, which we can guess has raised the second platform. So the third platform is on a timer, as previously seen. So I'm going to step on this button, and I'm going to quickly get ready to jump and navigate my way as quick as I could onto this button, which now we can see is moving that platform, the launch pad, is moved to below the key. But also we had a little orange thing that we bumped into, which is another mechanic, which is custom power-ups or custom spells that the player finds and unlocks. So when I found it, remember I tried out twice, tried to shoot and I couldn't do it. Now that I found it, I can press E and I fire this this custom projectile. So it's got its own particle effect on it. Itself is just a basic cube, but it faces the velocity that it's travelling in, and compared to this projectile, this one has like a curve on it, this one fires straight, and it also bounces off walls, so that could have some uses. It's a non-lethal projectile, but let's continue and see what else we can do. So up here, I grab the key, and the key has appeared in the left box up there, showing that I've got it on the hood. So now I've got the key, I can assume that I can walk into the door and unlock it. Entering into like a really dark area now, the player can use that custom projectile, which has a light on it, bounce it off the ceiling onto this other cube, which I bounced it over the glass that was blocking my way, and the glass has moved out of the way now. I still can't see, so I'm going to keep using this to kind of see where I'm going. And also I can, it's got a camera attached to it, which is why it faces the player view can see the view of the projectile through this camera. So I can see around the corner here, see what I'm going to face. I can see an enemy, a blue enemy over there, and I can see there's some blocks in the way. So at this point I can actually fail. Well, I could fail earlier on, but I didn't want to. But at this point, if that AI doesn't see me, I can try and get past these blocks. But say if I were to walk into one of them, it sends me back to the start. So if I keep failing, I'm going to keep get sent back. But I'm going to want to get past this, so I'm going to try and work my way through without dying. And then we've got an enemy here, so I'm going to shoot him. We could see that when I shot him, he turned more red based on the amount of times that I hit him. So we know how more damaged they are. based on the colour of the character, the enemy. Also, when I killed him, he ragdolled, so he turned into a ragdoll, and he was running between 2 points. So these players don't have to run between 2 points, they can run between 3, 4, 10, anything. And it looks like those guys have seen me, so they try and find me, try and find a way up here. I can use my ability to push through this by picking these blocks up and enter this area where they're going to try and chase me. But they've lost the player sight here, so I can try and escape them. And when these guys do reach me, they don't actually harm me, but they can trap me quite easily. So it's best off avoiding them or trying to kill them. So I'm going to find my way through this kind of maze here, and when I get here I've got another one of these blocks, which is, I'm going to pick it up with the second way, which as I said, less stable. So it's kind of like a more dynamic way of picking it up than the other one. And if I keep going, I've still got the block, and I can take it to this blue area here. And when I put it into the blue area, it locks and it flies and it starts floating in the pot. Alright, so at this point I can press P to pause and hit quit, which will going to close the screen and it's going to stop the screencast as well. So I'm going to hit it now, and that's pretty much all the mechanics I want to go over. Thanks for watching.